bribe taking, using government resources by Bawumia and others gave him that. And people were also afraid of losing their posts if they don't vote for him.
Yeah, but that is something that sometimes, if you look at the whole thing, you ask yourself, who are they saying this thing to? Because these are matured people. All the delegates are matured people. Nobody can decide anything for anybody. And they are executive.
So they vote because they want to vote for him, not because they are afraid to lose their jobs.
No, that cannot be. That cannot be that somebody think that he will lose his vote. He will lose his job, and that is why he is going to vote. That is something that all of us should condemn it. Because people have got their mind, they've got their conscience before doing something. You get me? If I'm going to vote for you, whereby there is no going to be any success or achievement of what I'm going to do for you, what is the reason of doing it? And let's not forget that these are delegates. They are not just ordinary people. They are delegates who has handled people in their constituency and polling stations. So they know what they are doing. They know what the party is all about. They know what the party stands for. So for somebody to read into something that because they were intimidated and what. So what about the past?
Well, Boachia Jakun said it came from Kennedy camp, it came from other camps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that it is a political strategy that probably he thinks that he may use that one to gain. You get me? But if you use something that comes back and hate you, what is the benefit in it? You get me? Because what they use, it doesn't solve any problem for them.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that they use it in the sake of anything, because they were running.
So who is likely to come out after the choice?
I can tell you that it is Bawumia again, because history has done it. During 2014, I was one of the elected destined to, I was a delegate as well, with Nana Akufo-Addo. The first round, like there were about 10 people as well. So we did the same process, and then we got the 5. Nana Akufo-Addo got the same thing, and then the second round was even huge.
Thank you very much.
So please, it is like the NPP party has got its own thing that we do, and I've heard people saying that there is a queue, which is unrealistic. If you look at our history, the way we elect our flag bearer, there is nothing called a queue.
Okay. I will come back to you again, because people like Alan Chamatin, they've been there for years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
His name come up all the time, and every time MPP disappoint him, it's time for him to leave the party and join other parties.
It cannot be like that.
Because they keep on disappointing him.
No, but he is not the only person who has gone on context, who is an old person like that. He's not the first person. I can point it out.
He was taking his time.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Then they even put him on the third place.
No. That is why I'm saying that it is the party, the delegates who decide, not you decide.
It is his dream might not come true because the party will never decide for him.
No.
But he think he has made sacrifices for the party.
No, but everybody has sacrificed. Do you know that even some people lost their life? What is more important than life? Look, let me tell you something. I'm a witness person who witnessed somebody just to put a party flag on a electric pole, and he lost his life.
Okay, thank you.
What about that?
Yeah, we will come back to you. Thank you, Isa. Yeah, Angel. I know, this is a very sensitive question in the sense that you represent NDC, but do you feel that the endorsement of Dr. Bawumia for the second round of the presidential primary in November a threat for NDC?
Good evening once again. The comic relief that we witnessed yesterday has no impact on what NDC as a great party is doing. It is very sad to sit here and hear, my co-panelists just use empty rhetorics again. Now, we were all in the country, we were all online, everybody was following what happened yesterday. For him to sit here and ask or try to create the impression that we had a very peaceful event, that's falsehood from the start. And I cannot understand why he would start this evening's conversation on that angle. Alan Chamantin is not a kid in NPP, he's one of the founding fathers. I'm sure if my compatriot here is a NPP member, like he's saying from beginning till now, he will know of Ali Zakaria. Ali Zakaria is one of the delegates that got beaten up yesterday. He was a rep for Alan in the Northeast, and he got hospitalized yesterday. I've got pictures of him here and his pass. How was that peaceful? We also videos of Canada, Japan throwing tantrums, threatening the president, threatening the vice president. We saw other candidates making, equally distasteful remarks on live air. How do we conclude that we had a peaceful event? This idea of always trying to hoodwink people when we have the microphone is something that we need to abhor. We need to respect the people that listen to us. We need to respect Ghanaians. You sit here and then you say what, the vice president has done. I'm not sure if maybe in your next round you would want to clarify that, because I'm prepared to yield part of my time for you to list his achievements as a member of the NPP government. He has been the head of the community management team. What has been done? We've seen the most abysmal, administration in the history of the country since independence. It is just respectful that when you communicate for the ruling party, you start your statements in this present time with an apology and say that you know you have failed Ghanaians. Maybe you are attempting to do better. Your own incumbent president yesterday said that the new person that will come, and it's on video, will come and lift Ghana from this present predicament. So what position are you holding as a communicator different to what the people aspiring for presidency are saying? Because everybody is saying that the administration has failed, including the people vying for presidency, including the president himself. Yesterday, and I quote his words, "I am the first person to admit that." I'm sure you have seen that video.
Yes.
If you haven't, I'm prepared to share it with you.
We will come to that. Yeah.
So please, if we're going to have a conversation on live TV where people are seeing it, the Ghanaians currently are suffering. They need to be treated with respect, and we need to attempt to pass on the right messages. NPP has done nothing. The records you have set in this administration is borrowed abysmally. You have no project that you have bet that is yielding any economy for the country as of now. And I'm putting that challenge to my compatriot that before we leave the studio, he lists 2 projects that since 2017, they have started and completed that is yielding anything that was of benefit to the country. All you have done is spend. Everything that you have set a record in is expenditure. Printing money, sharing money, and we will come to that in a minute. But please, let's be truthful in what we put out so that posterity, when it judges us later, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when somebody picks this program and watches it, they will know. Because you are going to be remembered by name, so am I. Not towing a party line and just singing praises to...
So when Issa is saying that, Bawumia breaking the 8, and then talking about the achievement of Bawumia, you are not in agreement with that?
Not in the slightest. I am sure any discerning person...
He started attacking
any discerning person... Let him. No. Hold on, Issa.
Like that, yes. You need to stop that.
No. Hold on. I will give you a chance. I will give you a chance to go.
But he started attacking me.
No. He was saying what you said.
No, but why should he say that?
No. He's saying that.
Giving you opportunity to talk about what.
Are you going to take my time?
Okay, please. Let's. Issa. Yes. Okay. Let him continue.
You will not take my time.
Yes. I will give you the time. I will give you the time. Sorry. Thank you. Please.
You will have your turn to speak. I am speaking with my turn.
Of course, if you are speaking on your turn, answer the question that
you tell me what to say either.
No, Issa, please.
You are taking this thing personal.
Please, Issa. When you write it down, I will get.
You want to bring my reputation down before you carry yourself.
No. What he's saying is that he's not in agreement with what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Don't teach me what to say.
He's just trying to.
You can also teach me what to say.
No. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Angel, go on. Continue, please.
So I am continuing.
Yes. Okay.
Everything you said in your submission was false, and you are aware of that.
You are also
okay.
No, hold on.
So
when you finish, I will give you a chance to also talk, please.
This new formation where your party communicators come on air, and because you have nothing to say, you want all conversations to degenerate into an argument. It will not wash with me. Let me make that very clear now. Because if it takes 3 minutes,
because
I have said to you, I will yield my time for you
have time to
even list your achievements.
Please. You have time
So
to
if
respond.
you're
Let him
someone
go.
that you have good information, you can
please.
take that time and call me out on the
Please.
opportunity
Please
that
have
I've given
patience.
you
Yeah, thank you.
to use my time, part of my time of my salvation, to list the achievements of
Okay,
the party.
let's go
So,
straight to the point now. Now,
They are
looking
not,
at it,
they are not a threat.
they are not a threat.
Not in the slightest.
And
And
based
this,
on
just 1 second, please. Taking 900 people out of the numerous delegates is not even representative of what the party wants.
yes,
That is what you saw people that claim to be founding fathers all pushing back against. That is their own internal drama. For me and my party, we just sit back. We are doing our work. We're doing our
do
groundwork
you think?
to
I mean,
rescue the country.
I know
That's what we
NDC
need
don't
to
have
be
to say
focused on.
anything on this, but do you feel that the way Alan Tramatin has been treated by NPP during the primaries over the years, he has always thought that, oh, he is the next in line. Then, or the next in line, then boom, they don't vote for him every time. Has he got the message and then just sit back and maybe join a different party? Because like Issa was saying that if they are not voting for him, they're not gonna, the people have a choice. Issa will say the people have a choice, and they feel that he's not the one that could lead them to victory. But he is saying, he thinks that he has given a service to MPP. Is it time for him to consider?
Politics is not a stool for hereditary. He had his chance. He chose to step down for someone. The electorate is made up of different dynamics. So I don't know what you mean, or I don't understand the concept of it being somebody's time. The electorate speaks based on what you have presented to them, to my understanding, if the process is fair. Here we are, days before yesterday, there was leaks going on around about percentages and money that had been paid by one of the participants. There's a document out that is marked confidential that shows whatever amount everybody got. People now are not like 25 years ago. People are reading, people are following issues very diligently. This is why it's important that when we come on the microphone, we present the truth. When mistakes are made, we come out and we say, this is a mess. Anybody communicating for this government that tries to create an impression they have done so well, they deserve another term, is delusional. You have a president that was voted out of office for using 54 billion cedis for monumental projects in his whole term. You have a Bank of Ghana, which is the central bank, write off a loss of 60 billion in 1 year. It's not even comparable. The conversation is a non-starter. Only because we are democratic that we still got to go through these processes. But it is a shame. The situation in our country right now is something that every discerning person should be weeping about. All of us here in this part of the world, I'm sure, get the same phone calls from people that we have known to be well-to-do, that are in tight corners now, that are not trying to dupe us, but they are seriously struggling to make ends meet because the money they get paid is of no value with the, useless taxes that has been imposed by this administration, including the COVID levy. The most ridiculous things. One of the countries that had the least debts in the whole of the universe has a COVID levy on its citizens. And nobody feels the need to say anything. It is a shame. And I think it's about time that any communicator that gets up needs to be hammering on the right issues and being truthful.
Okay.
Trying to fool people will not wash. And that's
Thank
what
you.
we're going to 2024 to do, to rescue this country and hand it back to the right place.
Thank you. Issa,
Yeah.
was the election fair or not? Based yesterday election, was it fair or not? Based on the argument that transpired yesterday. Hold on. The question is, Ken, Japan was threatening to give President Nanado and Vice President Bawumia a showdown. Showdown is giving you like a fight, meaning, or conflict.
Yeah.
Now, do you understand what Kennedy meant by giving Bawumia and Nanado a showdown? Someone giving a fight.
Yeah,
What makes him so angry that he wants to give them a showdown?
Thank you, Mr. Kula. It is something that sometimes, if we come to the studio, somebody shouldn't think he's so smart to come and then run somebody down and get credit where he has started his this thing. If you ask him a question, he should go straight to the question. I have said it. It is the listeners who will judge what I've said, not you. sitting here who will run me down because you are here to do that. I'm not that type of people. And to film something that we are lying, and we know who they are, because they always start these kind of things to upset you or to set you up. You understand? And that thing must also stop. Because
when you said NPP are lying, or are you saying that?
No, he was saying that I sit here and I'm not saying the truth to the people. You heard everything. What truth did he want? Because what you asked me is what I said yesterday about the election, isn't it? So why is he coming on me saying that I should say the truth to the people? Because you just want to come and wind me up and get credit of it. And that is what I'm trying to let him know, that it's not me, Isa. You shouldn't try those things, because I've been in politics for a long time. You know me, how we argue certain things. So if you are coming to talk about your political party, do that.
Okay, let's move on.
So like Kennedy at the point.
Yes, was the election fair or not?
Yeah,
based on the argument that came
or else
up yesterday.
he would have protested from the electoral commission after what he was saying. You understand? Secondly, it is something that people need to understand. Like we're saying, we've seen so many violence, so many acrimonies that happened in the NDC elections. People were beaten up in Wakepus. We saw all those things. And let me remind my friend that he shouldn't come and say that somebody was beaten at the... We have seen, even people were chased out at the NDC elections, isn't it? So what is he talking about? It is something that happened in just one particular place. And this thing is not something that was...
To understand that you will give the president showdown and the vice president showdown.
Which it was a misinformation. It wasn't he himself at all. Later on, why didn't he talk?
But the video is there.
It now ask for the video, it will come first.
The anger was seen by
that's
so
what
many.
I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying that. As for the video, you the media can use it the way you want. But after that, if the showdown was there, you should have done it by now.
You can imagine Lalado and Bawumia boxing fight.
No. What I'm saying.
Kennedy Japan and Lalado boxing fight. Kennedy and Bawumia. That would be interesting match.
That one saying that if
at Accra Sports Stadium,
if that thing was there, he would have done it by now, or he would have refused to accept the elections, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the electoral commission announced he accepted everything. So it tells you that probably he, Kennedy Japan, didn't take his time to listen to what really happened.
But he was accusing Bawumia and Nanado for allegedly chasing out his polling agent
I was saying that it wasn't his polling agent that was chased out, because this our electoral thing that they did it yesterday. The organization was so perfect that the police, everybody was there. And even if anything at all, the police will intervene as quickly as they can. You understand? So Nana Addo, who did Nana Addo send there to chase his party agent? Or Bawumia send there to chase his party agent? You understand me? Because this place was meant for only the police and you who is going to vote, isn't it? And everybody saw how transparent the whole thing was. So if two people had a misunderstanding and probably somebody miscommunicated with you as a flag bearer or the seeking for flag bearership, you should have taken your time. You understand? But he couldn't control himself. Later on, he himself realized that what he was doing was wrong. And that's why he couldn't protest up till now.
So Wuntumi was saying that Kennedy was also winding up. They gave him a wrong information to say that it was Kwame Owusu, a former boss of the Ghana Maritime Authority, who called Kennedy to inform him about the said development.
Yeah, but that man is Kennedy's representative, isn't it? So who are you blaming now? It's your own representative who called you to give you that information. Meanwhile, even my friend has testified that.
But this could be just allegation. It might not be true.
Exactly. So we shouldn't put allegations on something that we could have used this time to talk to Ghanaians what it means, what we are going through, what we should do next. Because Kennedy is Kennedy. and he's running for his election. Nobody can stop him of saying whatever he wants. But the electoral, the people who elected, the people who are delegates, they decide who they think that he should lead them. You understand? So involving Nana Akufo-Addo and the vice president was something that everybody has seen. Even you yourself, you can understand that it wasn't the right thing for him to do, because this information comes from his own person. You get me? So please, all these things, it happens in elections. It happens in political party.
Are there, based on what has happened, do you think that there are any guarantees for a peaceful elections at our next general election? Because this is NPP one, and you see the tension
but
that was there.
Was tension on the NDC one more than this. People
but
were
this man
up.
was also beaten up.
No, that one saying that.
Alan Chamartin, one of them was beaten up.
That one saying that all these things, this is not the first time. Since 1992, yeah? Mr. Pula, you know, since 1992, there's been this kind of violence, accidents, and whatnot and so on. But we went through, and we have moved from state to state to state up to today.
Where they are beating Alan Chamartin, they said it was reported that an agent of Alan Chamartin was subjected to beating at the Northeast Voting Center.
Yeah, that one saying that.
I've sent you the picture of the person that got beaten with
Yes,
his name
yes.
that you can verify if you want to.
Yeah, but
Just
nobody is saying
for
that
sake of
something like
clarity.
that didn't happen. You understand? But as at now, the police were there. The police know exactly what happened. If it is a crime, they will take action, and that was the reason this electoral committee brought all these
The good thing is, producer is showing the time that Kennedy outburst was there.
Oh yeah, but
and maybe we can see a bit of it in terms of
nobody is saying that it didn't happen. Did that say that? No. But the reality is, did Kennedy himself protested what he was saying after the elections? This is where the question should be asked.
maybe he want to fight, not to protest.
So why
the
is it
electoral
a fight up to now?
Well, that's why he said that, yes. he was the fight.
So,
he won the showdown with the president.
You see, we've made a very excellent election, very peaceful, very dynamic of NPP.
Issa, I don't think Ghanaians will agree with you that it's a peaceful election in the sense that because the agent of Alan Chamartin was subjected to beating, and a lot of people also saw Kennedy tantrum.
I don't know why you are saying this. Ghanaians, I haven't heard any Ghanaians are complaining that this election wasn't peaceful and free election. Okay. It is only the media or other people that want to exaggerate it and say because the whole
that is the next point we will come on.
Exactly.
So yeah, thank you.
Please, what I'm saying is Kennedy has finished the elections. He didn't protest. He didn't say anything afterward. You understand? So please, let's also respect that. Okay. That after the election, if there is something serious that he was meant to do, by now the media would have carried all those things again. But as of now, it is what he was speaking on the distance that they are still talking about.
Okay, thank you, Issa.
And we should be mindful. If not careful taking, certain things like that can generate to different things altogether. Because after that, he didn't protest of what he was saying.
I will come to what our former president was saying, but that will be the next part argument. But for now, Angel, was the election fair or not, based on the argument that transpired yesterday? And
before I get to that, I want to reiterate that in my compatriots' submission, he has contradicted himself. You cannot say in one sentence that the election was fair and peaceful, and then also admit that somebody was brutalized and hospitalized. It doesn't.
Did I say somebody was brutalized and hospitalized?
You admitted it, that you haven't said that it didn't happen.
No, I said a bit that he was.
No, he said that he has not said it didn't happen.
Yes.
If he accepts that it happened, then his statement that said that it was peaceful becomes false.
Yeah, but
we need to say that. So when you turn around and then
one person,
you can keep interrupting me if you want to.
Because this thing went across 16 regions.
You are trying
to use one region to capitalize the whole 16 region and say I'm lying.
If we're going to set this precedence of interrupting each other,
my friend, you are here to also educate Ghanaians. But don't confuse Ghanaians.
Do not assume that your interruption for the second time in my time slot will be taken like
But if you come, go straight to
make notes. Don't tell me what to say.
You always try
be
to
cautious
me
enough to respect your position and your time
make a note, and then I'll give you time to respond.
It's not in your place
is that good?
To tell me what to be saying.
Okay, I will give you time to respond.
I've called you out on live TV that you have told a lie. I'm saying it on TV.
And you are aware that you are also a propagandist who
take your time
who mean to come here and also put propaganda and lies.
Okay, hold on.
People
you
for them
on air.
Hold on.
You don't know what you are all here for.
Isa, I will give you time. I will give you time to respond.
Let me address this issue.
No, I will give you time.
He came here purposely to upset me.
No, I will give you time to respond, Isa.
You never met me.
Isa, listen to me. I will give you time to respond
to this political party that you so-called because you follow the
I will give you time, Isa, please. Hold on, don't talk back.
Very peaceful.
I will give you time. I will give you time to respond, Isa.
What kind of
don't talk when he's also talking. When he finish, when he finish, I will give you time to respond. So you make notes of everything.
I'm not going to allow him.
Isa, you are not doing a fair thing in the sense that let him finish. You know that is how it goes. You are senior. No, hold on. You are a senior communicator. What you do is make notes. When you finish, you can respond, Isa. You have all the opportunity to respond.
No, but before I respond, the whole thing goes to the air that I am a liar.
No. I don't understand what you are saying. We are on air now.
But he said it.
No, but when he have said it, but you can respond to say, okay, this is what you have said, this is what you have said.
But what did I say?
No, please. We cannot. The whole thing is, if someone challenge what you have said, you don't have to be upset. You can also argue your case when you get to your turn.
He doesn't challenge what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying is you can also respond when it's your time to debate or to make your submission. Thank you. Can you go on, please?
Mr. Kula, I want to make a point. I know you're very experienced in this business.
Thank you.
But this trend is not new. This has been in play for 2 years. All NPP communicators have been doing this at various studios, trying to argue and trying to claim they've been disrespected when they're called out on their falsehood propagation. I have repeated what I said. What you have said is on air. The videos are on air. You have tried to succumb to somebody's influence and you have made a statement that a presidential aspirant made a mistake and he did not challenge. There is no timeline for putting in a challenge on a Saturday night. So don't mislead anybody. Let's get that straight. Alan Chemantin is on video, and I've sent that to you, Mr. Kula, where if you want to, you can play that on your air, saying that all results from the Northeast was not accepted by him and his side.
Yes.
The results of the Northeast came and was 100% for the Vice President. So who is telling the lies here? These are things on record. It's been less than 24 hours since this happened. How are we saying that because challenges or court proceedings have not been instituted, somebody was unsure of what they were doing? This was no surprise to anybody. Don't get it twisted that Ghanaians will be singing the same song and be doing yes sir, yes sir. You don't get to sit by me and tell me what to be saying and how experienced you are. I'm not a novice. So let's get that straight. Now we are addressing issues that are verifiable. So if you're presenting something, present information that is verifiable by people here and by listeners that are also watching us. That's how we do a debate. Don't tell me I'm attacking you. Now I'll make another point. Northern Regional Chairman of NPP. It was in the media yesterday that he slapped Alhaji Mumuni, known as Jack Supreme. Is that a peaceful incident? And then instead of addressing the issue that happened yesterday, you have loosely said that violence has been in NDC without citing anything. Everything I'm citing, I'm giving you names. I'm giving you places that it took place. Because this is going to be on record and I cannot control what gets played back.
Was the election fair or not based on the argument that transpired yesterday?
Not in the slightest. If the two heavy hitters of the party who claim to be part of the founding fathers are disputing their own process. And for me, it is not an issue for me, because when we were screaming in 2020 that the NPP rigged the elections, these very people who know their own tactics were quiet. Now that is being used internally, they are screaming. They should deal with it. I had my popcorn yesterday. I had my champagne, and I was watching all my predictions.
So you watch it with the popcorn and the champagne.
Because I made all these predictions that this was going to happen.
Hey.
No communicator, and that statement.
Issa don't drink alcohol. Issa is alcohol free.
That statement about we know how this thing goes. Please, let's respect each other. If we're going to be in this place and be talking that kind of talk, you're not a bad boy.
So
you're on TV talking about how we're going to save this nation. The party you belong to has wrecked this nation, and unless, of course, you're part of the people that have enjoyed the loot, which we are all aware of has gone on.
So are there guarantees for a peaceful election at our next general election, based on what is happening?
This party in power, the last election we had, they killed 8 people, and it was the first time it happened in the history of Ghana. That on election night, 8 people were murdered by people in uniform that till date, nobody is able to say whether they were state people, and there are so many stories going on around. And the president has not till date made a single statement about those people. So I want my brother to tell me today what he's trying to say. If any of those people, that included a child, a teenager who was just standing by the polling station, it could have been my kid, could have been your kid, could have been your niece or nephew. Just because you align yourself to a party should not automatically make you a dishonest person. The party will go out of power. 10 years from now, somebody will pick this tape and play it back, and we might be old, we might be sitting somewhere, and you would want that respect, and the kid will be going, oh.
Should the Electoral Commission put some sanctions against NPP for their behavior on this?
The Electoral Commission made this bed. The Electoral Commission was the one who put us in this predicament when they released results that were uncertified. They released results in 2020 with no media people present for the first time in the history of Ghana. I'm challenging Miss NPP communicator now to prove to me what media houses were there when the results were released and who was present and what process was followed the 6 times that the results got changed, and if he knows the results that they claim to have won with in 2020, to put it in the studio. When you come on air, you come and you speak. So
can this happen again then?
No, we're vigilant, we're more awake, and the things that they got away with.
Can you go further with that? Because now what you are alleging, and then being that it will not happen again. Now you have said something, and I said, okay, how is it going to be solved then?
Elections are one of the polling stations.
Because it's the same, but
those tricks that they used, that they have used internally on each other, which is very amusing to watch. They know how to keep their own people happy. If they don't, you will know the confessions.
Issa is laughing here. Issa.
He is laughing. That's on him. The Ghanaians that are watching us, who are in the country, are discerning. They know what happened. Kennedy Japan, who was one of the presidential aspirants, is on video. And if you need that, I can send it to you as well. Multiple times saying their election was not won free and fair. If anyone in the top hierarchy pisses him off, he will drop the bomb.
Yes.
Have you seen that clip anywhere?
Yes, I have.
Have you heard any NPP communicator be bold enough to take him on? None. They exhibit this cowardice by sitting and shouting at NDC people because they assume that we're a possum. No, not everybody. So be minded. If you're going to be sitting and you're going to be lying, do not try to appear to be strong at the same time. When you have the correct information that can be verified by everybody, then you act brave, then you put it out, because you know our actions have consequences. Anything we say that is false, we are liable for it. As people, not as the party. Any lie you say on air, nobody goes to see your party. They come after you, the person. I sit here, I come prepared to defend everything I say.
I will let you start this question before Issa, because then Issa will respond to that. Now, former President John Mahama, our former President John Mahama yesterday reported that it appears electoral violence has become normal for NPP in any electoral contest they are involved in. Reacting to the incident on social media, the former president said acts of violence during what should be a peaceful civic exercise must be condemned by all well-meaning Ghanaians. Such brutal acts have no place in modern society, especially during an internal contest among persons who belong to the same party and have known each other for many years. This is what our former president is saying.
Our former president is 100% on point. Our former president and incoming president of the next republic has said in every role that is needed to, right from assembly person, right through to vice, to the president of the country. He has been the ECOWAS chairman. You can check his record during his term. You can check the record of the current president and his term and how turbulent the sub-region was. Records do not lie. So it is well and good to sit in a studio and be shouting. But when you go back at the end of the day, what do your numbers say? What is there for people to verify? That is what Ghanaians are asking. Where is the money? In 2014, 2015, when they were making up stories, talking about flying a confirm and all of that, and even people, degree holders, you're talking about propaganda that could not understand that non-migratory birds flown from one country to another, and then NPP was touting this. Today, here we are. Everything you have touched, you have depleted the reserves of the nation. That's what you need to be thinking about. As it stands now, Ghana does not have any reserves. We're not going to have any reserves till 2026. Whose headache is that going to be? Because we have stopped paying our foreign loans, we think our numbers are recovering. We were hounding JDM for not having single-digit inflation. What is the rate of inflation at this current time? The video from the president yesterday saying that the next leader will lift out of this quagmire is damning enough, and I would implore you, if you could play that, because it's only a minute, if you could play that video.
Yeah, when we get to that question,
in that place,
we will
and
talk about that.
I want to know what this NPP communicator has got to say to that video from his president, who has given up on the country, saying that it is the next leader's job to lift out of this court. And daily, they're making attempts to borrow money.
So when Mahama is saying that, when our former president is saying that editorial brutalities remain a stain on the legacy of Nana Addo and Vice President Dr. Bawumia.
I am sure you have covered enough of our elections, internal, external. I will cite Asin North, which was the most recent before this. NPP communicators, NPP executive, heckling police, and questioning why they arrested people that were dressed in police uniform and army uniform, but were not enlisted people. General Secretary on TV saying, "You're arresting my people. Why are you arresting my people?" They indulge in all these fraudulent activities, and it is blessed straight from the top. Why else would a general secretary of a party, accompanied with the pseudo vice president or prime minister, go and heckle the police and question the police why they arrest somebody who's not a policeman but dressed in a police uniform? What they should have done was go and plead, take a lawyer, and go and caution the person, or let the law take its course. I don't know anyone in my side of the party that can do that and then expect the blessing of any of the top hierarchy. We get cautioned not to go out of line. We get cautioned not to do things that would mar the image, because it is only one Ghana that we have. One Ghana. And the earlier the people in the NPP and their communicators begin to realize that you are not more Ghanaian than anybody, you don't have a higher stake than anyone. The things you say today in attempt to look good or look cool or appear that you think you're kidding yourself, you're a strong man, the effect of that on all of us, our water bodies, by things that you've been indulging in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, affect all of us. We should be guided. We should all do some introspection. And when we say we are aligned to a party, we should know what both parties have done for the country. Slogans don't run an economy.
Please.
On saying that, I will yield my time. I promised him that I'll give him the next round of my time.
Mr. Issa Ayuma.
Yeah. To give.
You promised Mr. Issa Ayuma.
Yeah, I'll give him my time.
No, go
half
on.
of it.
Go on.
No, Mr. Kula, please.
I don't need his time.
Please.
I need his time to
I want to
say
add half of my time
I don't need his time.
for the next round for him to list the project NPP has done that is yielding revenue for the nation. Because they are incumbent. They've done well, they want to break the 8. I'm donating that half of my time slot for him to do that so we can carry on. Let's go.
Okay, thank you. Issa, what the former president said, you want me to repeat it?
Yeah,
Yes.
send it to me
Okay.
as well.
Yes. So he said yesterday that it appears electoral violence has become normal for NPP in any electoral contest they are involved in.
Like I said earlier, as for the former president, John Mahama, we know how he talks, we know how he say things. He goes to Facebook and then put things there. And when it comes to the nation, doing something for the nation, he will go outside there, say different things, and come back to Ghana, say different things. We know him some time ago. You understand? So please, sometimes not that you come to the studio and sit, also try to polish yourself as if you are an angel, because we've seen your.
That is his nickname, Angel. So
yes, we've seen who has been in power before. You understand? We've seen who has been in power. Mahama has been in power before. He has ruled the country before. We have seen what happened in the country. You understand? So for you to come and also speaking as if this man is somebody who can change the whole thing of the country, it's just like you sit down here to accuse me I'm a liar. I'm just also lying to Ghanaians about what they have seen before. It's like you went ahead to paint that person, somebody who has done something in an old car, you went and paint it and come back to tell the people that no, this is a new car. That is what Mahama is all about. Because if we talk about election violence, then it should be the NDC, like I stated
so the stain that the former president is saying is with Nanado and Bawumia. And then this will remain with them
because
as a legacy for them.
He's so scared about these two people. He's so scared to the extent that he never thought, as he was in power, he never thought that these people can get him out of power. And he lost the election twice. So he keep on hammering something that he cannot come back to be the president. In the sense that Ghanaians are so wide awake. They know what he has done to the country. So many things that he has done to the country that they are turning today to say he hasn't done anything bad. But because the way he put things in place at that time, it is really affecting the country today. And there are so many examples that we can put them out there. You understand? Look at all these things that he did. We're having all doom so all over. He couldn't manage these things. We're having this, what do you call it?
The NDC is saying Doomsaw was solved before.
We will leave that one for Ghanaians to judge. If Doomsaw was solved, we will leave that one for Ghanaians too. We've been in power when there was Doomsaw. Up to today, as of now, since 5 years, 6 years now, there's no Doomsaw in our country.
The lights go off, officer. That one, you need to let them.
It is like, as for life, sometimes it goes off simply because they are doing work. We've got this work that is going on in the country.
Now it's more
they are
rampant.
replacing so many things that, look, the energy minister came and said it when there was, even when they were doing this exercise, there was a jubilation in the country. Look at such a political party. When there is a doomsaw, then the people started jubilating. Political opposition, political party jubilating that yes, doomsaw is back. Meanwhile, there was something that they were trying to resolve, issues that have been there for 60 good years.
Are you saying that our political parties were happy
yes,
because of doomsaw? That NPP administration are also experiencing difficulty with doomsaw, then they become happy again.
Yeah, they were happy when they don't even know that it was something that they are trying to reorganize things like that. Because the minister for energy came and said it. That look, there are some of these high tension wires that has been there for over 60 years. Nothing has been changed on it. So it needs services. And so long as it needs services, they have to put off some certain areas and do the services. And exactly what happened. But then, when this thing was happening, then people were jubilating and opposition party were jubilating. We saw all these things. If they say that they solved it, why were they jubilating?
So when our former president is saying that the barbaric action in Ayawaso, West Wagon in 2019 and the murder of 8 innocent Ghanaians during the 20 election will forever be a blot on the legacy of Nana Addo and Bawumia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That as for him, he will come and say anything that at least will never bring any something like never let Ghanaians feel like what he's saying is true, because he always creates something. What his communicators are saying, you also jump into it as a former president. We all saw what as a former president is doing in the country. Like I said, he goes out there, admit that yes, this, and he comes home and to mislead the people that blame on the government.
His last one is that he's not, this act by these people in the same party fighting each other has no place in Ghana politics.
That's what I'm saying, that as for fighting each other, who fight each other more than the NDC? We've seen so many things, so he shouldn't even go there at all. We've seen so many things. The beatings and whatnot, even some were made. You understand? There was this thing happening in Kumasi before the 2020 election. NDC party headquarters. Is that true or not? Why is he not talking about those things? You get me? Somebody was killed up to today. Do we know the one who killed that person? A party headquarters. Why Mama is not talking about those things? So sometimes, because you are desperate for power, you try to come and put something out there for people to think you are the best. Meanwhile, there are so many things that happen in your backyard. You did not mention all those things. You get me? So please, let's get everything right for our country. We are all Ghanaians. I remember when they were trying to put this African Trade Organization. Mahama was invited to go out there and seek for this thing, lobby for this thing to come to Ghana. He refused. If I'm lying on those things, because my friends say that I'm lying. All these things, as a former president, you did these things. You don't talk about who loves Ghana more than certain people. Something that is coming to our country, you rather go out there and split it out. And the same person will come and say things as if he is an angel for the country. You get me? So, if the NPP, we had our internal election, this is not something that everybody is thinking is going to stop NPP by winning the 2024 election. And I can assure you that Ghanaians, they have carried so many things. They've carried water and they've carried wine and they've seen the difference. You understand? My friend is saying that he's going to ask me to list the project that we've done in Ghana that bring revenue. Just recently, I'm not saying gold for oil. What happened?
Sorry.
When the vice president came in on this, thinking outside the box, you understand? When Ghana, the whole Ghana for 60 years, our gold reserve was not even up to 8 kilos. You understand? But when he implemented this thing, now we are almost about 17 kilos that is there within a short period. You understand? But the whole thing was all about carrying dollars, everything. Meanwhile, we've got so many things that we can be able to do to sustain our economy. And this is a person who's thought outside the box and made this thing reality. That brings income. If I'm not saying something that just one that I've mentioned to him, he said I should say it, and that is just one that I've mentioned to him.
Did we talk about what Nana Addo was saying yesterday when he admitted that times are hard and that he expresses sympathy with Ghanaians? He is, however, upbeat that good times are ahead when a new president of the NPP stock succeeds him. The question is Nana Addo saying that the situation will not improve under his leadership with Bawumia until a new leader is elected by the country?
That people are getting him wrong, the way he said things, and sometimes they divert the whole thing.
Is it old age or what?
Not
when you say people are getting it wrong, what is it?
Not old age. What he was saying, you have to be a deep thinker to understand what he was saying. One.
Why? Parables?
No, it's not parable. I said you have to be a deep thinker to understand it. In the sense that we got a problem that came in 2020, which really engulfed the whole country. You understand? 2020 was a hell for everyone across the world.
God.
So the person who succeed him will be able to deal with the 2020 issue more than him? Is that what he's saying?
No. You see, Kula.
No, I'm just asking. I want to know.
That's what you let me learn.
Okay.
The issue is this, that this thing came whereby he said something. But our mind didn't go there much about it. Because people were dying. The whole COVID issue were everywhere. Even here, how many prime ministers have they changed? Because of what? Here in the United Kingdom, what happened? Because people's lives were important. And this is a president who said, now look, I cannot look at people to die.
Yeah.
As for the economy, we can revamp the economy, but people's life, we cannot bring it back. That whole world leaders were recommending him by making that statement. And it is a fact that yes, Ghana, where we were, if we weren't, I remember, and I said it here before, I remember a BBC reporter asked British Airways came from Ghana at the beginning of the COVID. And the BBC presenter was asking this airline crew that you are just coming from Africa. What happened there? Because the whole world were thinking that Africa, especially Ghana and other countries, they'll find bodies at the street. So this guy was asked, and he said, look, I was shocked by seeing a third world country like Ghana, how they put COVID measures in their...
I just want to repeat this because this is what he said yesterday. He said Ghanaians will reflect on who best to get us out of this difficulty and take us to the next stage, he said. Bawumia is the vice president. He's still the vice president of Ghana and head of economic management team. Alan Chamatin was also a trade minister and part of the economic management team. On reflection, based on what Nanado is saying, do you think Ghanaians will also reflect on their part of the way the country has been governed?
You see, on this issue, it's not only just the economy. You get me? It's a bigger picture that we should look at. It's not just only the economy that we are talking about, because we've invested a lot in so many things like human resources, etc. That brought this free senior high school, etc. Even Tibet and whatnot and so on is working today. Things that were broken so many years ago that we didn't put our mind there has now waken us up. And like I was making a statement about this COVID thing, COVID has come to wake us up. In Ghana, we weren't even having vaccine facilities or vaccine factory. But as we are speaking now, because of those kind of examples that we've made, we have now enlightened ourselves. Even during the COVID, it has made people to understand that we are innovative people. We were doing our own mask, our own sanitizers, etc. All these things are something that if we keep it up, we could have get to a place that where we will not depend on anybody anymore. But here is a country that we were depending on everything that comes from outside.
You want to land, Lisa?
Exactly. So he's saying this is something that we need to think about it deeply. It's not just the political thing that we are talking about. Because he's thinking that, look, all what happened to us, we are still surviving, but we didn't get what is supposed to be done because of the effect of this thing that has happened.
Thank you.
So please, it's happening that he wants us to understand what he was saying. It's not that...
So his words may be misinterpreted by others.
Exactly, because it is being misinterpreted. People want to use something that he said he has given up. Which that is not the case. If he was giving up, he would have given up.
Said, yeah, the next
because
stop.
we are always close to the end of his term.
Okay.
It's just 1 year left. You understand? And what he has put in place.
To the ordinary person in the street who may be struggling, who need a job, a family who the cost of living is affecting, there is 1 year is a very long 365
that's what I'm
days.
saying. It is not just the 1 year.
It's over 1 year even.
That's what I'm saying, that 1.5 year or 1 year is not something that he's sitting aloof looking that you should suffer until that time. Because things are working a little bit for us.
So the Ghanaians want to find out why he's talking about the next stage where the next person who take over from him.
That transformed to what we are saying. We want to break the A. to let the people, to let the continuity of what we have put in place.
That is more important.
Yes, that is what he is trying to tell the electorate.
Okay.
That look, nothing is lost. It is not all that lost. At least if we continue, or the next person he will come and continue what I'm trying to do to let people get back to their what.
Thank you. Thank you.
So please, it is something that we should look at all these things and then understand.
Yes.
Not that a president says something and because of power or because of certain reasons which they know will twist the whole thing and look and make it look as if the presidency he has given up.
Thank you. Angel, you heard it all and I will leave it to you. In terms of what Nanado said, what is your understanding of that?
I want to congratulate you for your tolerance and your patience. You're doing very well. I don't know if I could moderate a program like this because I'm always stuck on people backing what they put out. I'm sure you noticed that the question that you actually put to my co-panelist hasn't been answered. He's waffled on, but I am very glad he wandered into talking about doomsaw and how all of that has been done. So I am grateful for them. I'll repeat that telling lies on TV or on any form of communication avenue should be abhorred. The vice president is on record. The majority leader is on record, all for saying and congratulating NDC for solving doomsaw. The same Ameri plant that His Excellency John Mahama with his vision brought into the country, that NPP tried their possible best to come and alterate the contract that was for $510 million so that we end up paying 1.3 million, which Boache Jaku fought against and he got sacked for from their own party. They tried to bloat the contract. I'm sure he's aware. If he hasn't done his research as I'm speaking, he can look it up. If he can't find it, I am prepared to share the information. I can give it to you and you can put it on the screen because the data is there for everybody to check.
Yeah. Producer can put you on.
We cannot be making up stories for expediency. I am against that. I stand by that everywhere I go. It's important you get remembered for the fact that you put out, not for how much you shout, not for how you try to dance around. It's very sad that every time this incumbent president speaks, you have communicators get up and try and tell the populace, oh, maybe you didn't understand. Maybe that's not what he meant. He meant what he said. What are you trying to say? That you have a special medium or a special machinery for understanding what one person says in the language that we all write examinations in and pass? That is insulting to the audience. How do you even say that? Oh, it's for deep thinkers. I'm sure you remember we have the men mantra. This is the results of the men. Taking us backwards. You have borrowed abysmal amounts and done nothing.
Is Bawumia part of the men?
He was the one that announced them. I have the list of the names here as well, if you need it. And they're all now vying for presidential slots. It's a comic action. How did we get here? They don't talk about that. You're talking about John Mahama, the one who brought the plant that you wanted to spend $35 million to move to Kumasi. The same plant that you tried to blow the $510 million contract that we were supposed to pay for 5 years. Please be quiet and respect yourself. You wanted to take that to $1 billion plus. It's on record. Boache Jaku was quiet when he got sacked. Only lately that he's trying to vie for the presidential slot, he's coming to say it. What do you want us to do with the information? When NDC people leaked this information and started speaking about it, in unison, they all said it was propaganda because that is what they get instructed to do. He kept saying, oh, he has some information. At the right time, he will say it. Have you seen that video before? At the right time, there is something that he will say. Now he's saying it. Is it of any use? 3-4 years later? It's of no consequence to anybody because we already know it. If you're a man that stands up for your principles, you don't time when you say the truth. The truth stands as it is. So if you sit on TV and you lie, the people that are listening and watching, you should watch the comments that are coming.
So the deep thinkers one that Isa is talking about,
he needs to
and what Nanado is saying
what
to
deep thinkers have they
Ghanaians,
shown in their administration from 2017 to this very minute we are speaking? Is it the borrowing?
The question is Nana Addo not talking directly to Ghanaians, or is he talking to...
He said exactly what he meant. He is not prepared to do anything about it. That's not my words. That was his words. He's not going to do anything. What do you mean by...
So he's waiting for the next leadership to take control of the economy.
September, you've got October, you've got November, you've got December, plus another 12, which is 16 months and 3 days. And you have somebody in office who's going to be taking salary, telling you that the next leader who's going to take over in 17 months is the one that's going to solve your current problems. Can you say that to any of your landlord or tenants or workers? That I'm tired. In 17 months, I'll give you a response to what you're saying? No.
I think Nana Addo should come out and say something about it to make it clear.
No, he has made his statement. His communicators need to be respectful and not attempt to tell people it's for deep thinkers. There are no deep thinkers being exhibited. Your record is speaking for itself. If you want to go down that line of using phrases like that, show us what you have done that proves the deep thinking. In Ghana, during the COVID, we lost 1,462 people. That was the total. Ghanaians today are still paying COVID levy. Ghana did not lose one cedi during COVID. We actually got more money during the COVID. World Bank, IMF, donors, we got money.
Yeah.
Thank you. He just agreed with me.
Yes.
So now he lied.
And people were,
but he were paid when they were sitting at home. It's not your time
people
to
were,
speak.
yeah, you said that I agreed.
Because
yes,
you're lying. I'm not asking you a question. You were not here to
let him finish.
Me in my submission.
Let him finish.
No,
I'll give you a chance.
Why is it that
you're not giving me any chance? It's not your job.
Let him finish.
Because if you want this program to end in flames, we can do that.
Yeah, if you want, you can do that. Because
so be quiet. When is your time to speak? You can speak.
Hold on. Give me 1 minute.
The third time, I won't do it.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm gonna tell him. Say something. Easter,
draw a line on it. Please control your program. That's not going to be happening.
When you just allow him to finish. If you have any questions or you want to make any contribution, comment after that, you also have the chance. Please. Thank you.
That's the third disruption in a row, Mr. Kula. I think you can do better than that.
Thank you.
It's very deliberate.
Isa, please.
It is not a one-off.
It's okay.
As well
so
as you did the
I won't stand for it. So
thank you.
That
Continue. You continue.
I mean, to maintain, and we'll have a beautiful program. We'll put the facts out, and maybe your ratings will go up because people like to know the truth. Not anybody that's trying to talk. Deep thinkers. Who are you addressing? What have you exhibited as an administration and collective that has brought the country forward? We've gone in reverse. From 1957, when we got independence, till 2016, our total debt was 122 billion. In your 6 years and 8 months, you have borrowed almost 500 extra, and you still cannot pinpoint what you've done. You said about being innovative. We used 54 million to feed people with rice and kinky for 3 weeks, and that was not the whole country. Is that the innovation? We used 600 million to do hand sanitizers and buckets. Are we serious as a people? Because we're not paying attention and we're not angry enough, we still have NPP people that come out in public and talk and try to pretend they're doing well. The power situation in Ghana was solved. His Excellency John Mahama was the only leader that came to Parliament, addressed Parliament, and gave a timeline of 18 months to solve this problem, and he did. I will take us back to President Kufuor's time, when Dumso was at its peak. President Kufuor gathered pastors who went to Akosombo to hold a prayer session for the water levels to rise. Do not sit here and speak as if people that listen were all under 15 years or 12 years. People that are listening are the same people that have witnessed all the administrations from 92 till present and beyond that. So when we are saying let's be respectful, please stick to facts. You talk about gold for oil. How can you score an own goal like this on TV? This goal for oil got your president labeled in a scandal. He boldly came out to give Al Jazeera a 7-day ultimatum. Have you heard anything from that? Nothing has been done. The gold scammer mentioned him in a scandal on Al Jazeera. The records are there. So do not speak about it, because then you make your president look bad. Unless, of course, you're trying to make him look bad but still pretend you're talking for him. Don't do things that score points against your own party. Because the 7 days passed, nothing was done. Al Jazeera called the bluff, and they said they were not going to retract the statement. What has been done? It was just noise. The person was caught. The person mentioned him as his friend and lawyer by name. Have you seen that video? Or are you just going to sit here and pretend? Don't be posturing and acting any way differently. Let's stick to the facts. You said earlier, and your president has confirmed it, Ghana is in dire straits. The next person to come and lead will take us out. I stand here for the NDC. We have declared we're on a rescue mission to rescue this country. That rescue is not going to come from this administration.
You want to land, please.
Mr. Kula, you gave him a lot of time.
I will get back.
I will give him the time. I gave him the time to list. And he spoke about a scandal that scores a point against his party. I think it is good that maybe in the next round we address that goal for oil scandal, because it brought out a lot of things and it brought out names and people and amounts. To say that that is innovative is also an insult. You have a raw product that you take and do barter trade. Are we in 1920? When the person buying is going to use that product to sell to make more money, and you did not think that you could sell it and make money, please, the reserves that he spoke about pre-2016 and now, I think you should ask him to give you the source for the figures so you can put that on your screen. People cannot sit here and just say anything without proving it, because that would just be, I mean, a joke kind of show. What has NPP done at this time that you are not sitting here apologizing on behalf of your party? The abysmal performance, I can't even understand where you're coming from.
It's Nanadu saying that he has more, based on his statement, does he have more confidence on the next leadership?
The next leadership.
Or he is just saying that, you know, trust my next leadership. And
it's not his next leadership. The next leadership. Those were his exact words. He said the next leader will come and take Ghana out of this quagmire. How did we get into the quagmire? You cannot solve a problem without finding out how the problem started. In 2016, Ghana self-financed its budget. That is not my story. That is on record. From there, it's either we maintain that or we go back. But from there, we have gone to printing money beyond our legal limits and then declaring a 60 billion loss. We are at IMF for a 3 billion loan, but we can lose 60 billion. Have you seen the breakdown of the 60 billion? Bank of Ghana expenditure included 287 million unaccounted for. Under this administration, they listed 2 million for gold watches. We're not serious people. Any NPP communicator that is worth the assault that comes on air should be apologizing on behalf of their party.
Thank you.
That's where I stand.
Thank you. Producer, if we can have a short break and we'll be back shortly. We heard everything that you have both been saying. And please do not go away. We'll be back shortly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you, viewers, for your patience. Thank you very much. Issa, we're going to you. Our NHIS here, Ghana National Health Service. We're going to talk about. Unless you have something to say about what NHIS
No, I don't have something to say about this.
According to the health economist, Enoch Oti Ejakum, the World Bank has commended Ghana's National Health Service, NHIS, for being one of the best in Africa, especially with regard to population coverage. Mr. Enoch Oti Ejakum stated this when he addressed the opening of training in expected claims generation and submission for the tier 3 providers in Accra. The question is, looking at the death rate in Ghana and those refused treatment in Ghana that the NHIS does not cover. You know, the illness, it doesn't cover all illnesses.
Yeah.
And people are dying now. People are waiting to die. More recently on my program, on the disability program, there were a number of people who have, they're saying disabled people who have to go out and beg for money to go and buy medicine because the hospital will not give them. Are these claims, do they take into consideration of these claims that the people who are dying or those who are kind of bedridden and nothing to do for them? I mean, more recently, even my auntie called me saying, "Oh, Kofi, can you help us? This woman, she lost her husband, and now she goes to hospital, and you know, with a number of issues, she's like becoming diabetic, and the government, the area doesn't cover that area, which under NHIS. Where do people go with the number of people who are dying? But however, we are saying that we are one of the best in Africa."
Yeah, National Health Insurance, even nearly collapsed during the NDC time. And we tried to revive it.
Please.
We tried to revive it with so many things.
Hold on, please. Angel, please. So if you do that, then when you do it, please. So please,
Mr. Kula,
I'm trying to
with the utmost of respect. I haven't interrupted him. He's interrupted me 3 times.
Yeah, I know. But
so
I just
if
keep it to a minimum.
TV.
No, just keep it. Yes, I have done it. I'm telling Issa not to do it. And Issa, I'm saying to you when he's giving his submission, not to say anything.
I don't want to think that.
Thank you.
You are labeling what he's doing. Please.
Thank you. Go on, Issa.
Yeah, the National Health Insurance was collapsed. There was a debt that was huge there when we came into office, and that is a fact. Nobody can dispute that. And we try to pay all those things within a short period, and then try to put some new reforms, especially today. So many, even people were not able to renew their national health insurance at that time as well. But now, you can even do it through mobile phone and whatnot and so on. Like you said, there was some certain illness that
it doesn't cover.
Yes, because of the way we started it and how the debt was piling on. And now, there are so many of them that has been taken off, and then we're doing it gradually to get everything.
But people are waiting to die in our country. It's like what we as a country is saying to them is that there is nothing we can do for you.
No, it's not like that. Even in this country, for instance, we've got so many things that if you go, we are still waiting. Me, for instance, I've waited for more than 5 months now.
Please, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, for.
Sorry, I'm sorry to ask you.
Just some therapy or something like that. For them.
You're on the waiting list for?
I'm on the waiting list for almost 5 months now, on my knee.
5 months?
Yes.
Okay.
Almost 5 months now. You get me? And this thing is paining me seriously.
But there is a difference between being on the waiting list and waiting to die, where we are saying, the hospital is saying, we can't look after you. You know, your needs, it doesn't cover. So if you can't find money to pay, then we can't. And there is also some people who are in hospital who have received treatment that their family, they're keeping them in hospital because their family don't have money to pay for them.
Yeah, that is what
they become indirectly prisoners.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that it is because of the system that we started and how we started it. You understand? And if that time it was sustainable, at that time people could be able, the NDC could be able to do it as much as they could.
So when they said that the NHIS comes next to Rwanda as the best performing scheme in terms of operation coverage, so is this just by Oti Ejakom just making these claims?
You see, if it is just making this claim, they wouldn't have just bring it out like that. You understand? And even as you are telling me that people are in the waiting list and people are waiting to die and whatnot and so on, it is a little bit strange to me, because if you come and say that it is one of the best in Africa or West Africa, and at the same time, I don't think he's the one who is saying it. Maybe you are saying it. You understand? So national health insurance has gone to a level that, honestly, you can even renew your national health insurance on your mobile phone and go to the hospital, be treated.
I think I need a direct conversation with Dr. Bernard Okoboy, who is the who is the chief executive of Ghana National Health Insurance Authority. We hope to have him here
maybe
next
one
week
day he
on
can
our
give the whole details that has happened or what is happening now. Like you are
But are
saying,
you aware that people are dying because of non-treatment?
through national health insurance?
Yes.
I'm not aware of that, honestly.
Yes, people are dying. I can tell you that Ghanaians.
So,
I mean, on my program, we did a program, and the program is on disability. And on that program, what the man was saying is that he has to go out to beg to get money. He's a disabled person. Some person with disability in Ghana.
Okay, right.
He goes out to beg money in the street to buy medication because he doesn't cover that.
Yeah, that
and
is
it's very sad.
And whatnot and so on, like you are saying. Yeah, because initially it wasn't covering, but now the government policy is all about to put all these things that can be able to cover, because they've seen that a lot of people are having those problems. You understand me? So, and that is why probably the registration is going up like that, because the government.
I don't think the government have any policy in terms of that. Is clear. It's clear to say that these illnesses, NHIS does not cover. If you want that treatment, you have to pay. If you cannot pay, death.
Exactly. It was like that they were saying it. But as I'm talking to you, I also understand that the government is putting measures in place to cover certain illness that were not, which including diabetes that I've heard in some of the hospitals that they are receiving all this kind of treatment. You understand? So things like that. If you look at the way the thing started and the way it stopped in the middle of it, and now we are restarting again for some years now, and all of a sudden we came into this problem, whole world pandemic and whatnot and so on. We are getting out of it a little bit slowly, and that is why probably they've seen that this place or the national health insurance is growing.
This is out of this, but this I heard it from one of our elders in our country saying that the country, most of our experiences that we are going through is the part that as a country we have been wicked to certain people, because we have not given them treatment. They are sick, we don't look after them, we let them die and things like that. So their spirit is also chasing us as a country. Do you think we have been wicked as a country? The government policy, do you think is wicked towards those who don't have money?
It's not only government policy. Even if you
look NHIS is government
if you
policy.
Look at we Ghanaians, we don't value human life. In general, I can say that in authority. What is serious for us to take care is rather what we are joking with it. You get me?
Yeah.
And when I was in Ghana, I see it several times.
Yes.
You imagine a car ran over somebody and they started insulting that person. Wait, Jim, we are what? But the one who drive the car and knocked the person down. What about him?
Yes. And then they are also asking somebody who is been hit by a car by the hospital that if they have money they will pay, or somebody who can guarantee for them to pay.
Meanwhile, the one who did it is gone free.
Yes.
So you can see, but in this Western world, you cannot knock somebody down like that and go away.
Yes.
You understand? So
it goes back to what? Policing. It goes back to policy in terms of car drivers having insurance, appropriate insurance.
Of course, and that one too, we need as a country, we need to feel for each other. We need to have.
Is it the government that have to make the policy, or the people have to feel for each other?
We have to both have to go together. You get me? Both have to go together.
Yes.
If somebody goes to jail because he has killed somebody innocently, and then action has been taken, that is the side of government. And we too also mindful that at least you have to be careful of what you are, because this is a machine that you are running with. I'm just using that example. Let's take it for instance, somebody is, we are two living in the house, and the person is sick. The only thing, and then we make talk a lot without paying attention to what the person is going through. And these are some of the things that I'm talking about.
Yes.
We need to learn all these things, or if the government can also put some education to ourselves.
So although the NHIS is there, the cash and carry system still exists, because pay before treatment. If you don't pay,
you see, there are certain things that we also have to look at it carefully. This cash and carry, even if the National Health Insurance is operating, there are still bad people within. Instead of using the National Health Insurance procedure, they rather do different things. We've seen it several times in some of even the school, the free senior high school, feeding and whatnot. And so
do voters look at this when they are going to vote, that these are some of the things that we should look at? What is the benefit for us as voters, that if they are ill, these are some of the challenges?
Yeah, the voters can also look at that as well, but let's see whether was the past like that or there's some improvement.
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir.
If the past was like that or there is an improvement, then we can look at all these things. Like I said, there are certain areas that we as human beings or we as citizens, we need to take responsibility to as well. Because the government is there to direct us, to give us a put system that can be able to help us to move our life. But here is the case that we always think that the government have to do everything.
You want to land.
You understand? So if it comes to health and human life, we should also be very careful about it. I live with one of my friends at home, a typical Ghanaian. He does things carelessly.
Wow.
Sometimes he doesn't even care whether this can hit him.
Car can hit him.
No, even in the house or something like that.
Yes.
Sometimes he puts maybe some clothes on the heater.
Okay.
And I asked him, do you know that this thing can catch fire?
Yeah.
You understand?
Health and safety.
Health and safety, certain things like that.
Wow.
So all these things are things that we need to look at as human beings back at home as well. We need to care for each other. That can also help us for this national health insurance.
These people who have died, their spirit lives. I will come back to you. Angel, the spirits still live, roaming about in Ghana. Those who were refused treatment, where they have to end up in dying. And a lot of
Mr. Kula, I've sent you the 2016 NHIS report.
My battery died.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
I think that we need to draw a line on the lies. On page 20, the end of year report for 2016 for NHIS, there is a surplus of 8.64 million declared.
Yes.
It gives a breakdown of the total revenue and the total expenditure. Can you please direct this question to the NPP communicator?
Issa Ayuma.
How
Mr. Issa Ayuma.
much debt he just put on record that NDC left in 2016 for NHIS, because the report is a 36-page document which I've just shared with you. I am happy to give you the phone to put the report on the screen, because these things and this misinformation of the electorate should not be tolerated on any show. You cannot make loose comments like that and just let it go. These are documents for government. That's the on record that people can always revert back to. It is not an issue of winning a debate. It is providing the information that gives people enough room to make decisions based on what they can verify.
So, for the purposes of our viewers, if you can
report,
NHIS report,
2016, page 20, the last paragraph. I don't know if your producer can pull that up. If
he will put it.
I would be
it's
very
NHIS report
2016,
page 20.
Page 20.
You have a look.
Paragraph gives you the end of year. It gives you the total revenue,
and
it gives you the incurred expenditure, and the net operating surplus.
following that, we will also have a look before we close off with the Aran Chairman agents phase yesterday, which is going on social media. Our viewers want us to show it, so we'll show it. Thank you.
Okay. Can I carry on?
Yes, you can carry on while they look for NHIS report 2016 page 2020. Yeah, please. Our producer will put it. So you go.
The last paragraph details the breakdown of what happened. I think we need to raise our game. We can come here and beat our chest and say anything we want, but NDC is coming into power. NDC is prepared to put in the work. NDC has a track record of doing more by far than NPP in every sector of Ghana.
I think the producer have fine. Yeah. You go, continue. You continue.
On page 20, he will see down the last paragraph.
Yes.
I mean, it details all of that. It is a shame. I'm quite saddened that we have, resorted to playing these games, but it is something that I have seen repeatedly various NPP communicators do. I'm not sure why the real issues on the ground won't be looked at, but we resort to posturing. If for any reason you claim NDC was not good enough, you've taken over. Have you been able to match what we did? Have you been able to surpass what we did? Only thing you've done that is record setting is money that you have spent. Money that you have spent that you cannot account for. Every year the Auditor General report comes out. Nobody has been surcharged. The only Auditor General that tried to hit on scandals was run out of office. We are all aware of this. So when you sit here and make a lot of statements that you don't back, statements that you know at the time you're putting it out that it's a blatant lie, when there's a document that everybody can refer to, I want to understand why. Is it the program that you have no respect for? Because you were angry when I called you out for lying earlier. But every submission you've made, you've thrown in lies. This is the posturing, this is what your administration has done to Ghanaians by constantly putting out lies. At every opportunity you put out lies. Your president was on record saying that he had constructed roads more than anyone else in the country, 10,806 kilometers. And then he finished and he did a gimmick with his hand on TV. Where were the roads? When the documents came out, it was 1,400. So what happened to that? The roads minister went ahead, hurriedly said the roads have been constructed. Any Ghanaian that had not seen the roads should speed up and catch up. Fast forward, they go ahead and then close toll booths down. On your screen, you can see the breakdown of that report, the NHIS report, which is official.
Hold on. For the year ending
2016.
31st December 2016. The authority earned a total revenue of Ghana 1.388.31 million and incurred total expenditure of 1.379.67 million, resulting in a net operating surplus of 8.64 million. So yes, so in the fund's investment portfolio, principal amount stood at the time NDC was going 78.28 million as at 31st December 2016.
So please, can Mr.
So what about the report? Where's the report of 2017? Where is that?
No, but this will carry forward to 2017. 2017, the NPP have taken over.
That's what I'm saying. So
your statement, please. Your statement said at the end of 2016, which was when NDC finished office, we left a debt which he came to pay.
If you
this is the end of 2016,
right?
That the report has been handed over.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you produce the figure that was the debt that we left for you?
Because the national health
I don't need your opinion. I need the record, which is what I have given you. So you provide your record.
Insurance was in debt. That is what it is.
So provide the figure, the document.
Fine. You provide something from where? From the national health insurance.
Did I provide it? I don't control that machine.
You are saying it. But there was this.
So you provide yours. Don't worry about what I'm saying.
My friend, are saying
provide the record of the debt that NDC left, because you're a liar and I've called you out 4 times.
You see, that's why.
Provide the record. If you provide the record, I apologize to you here.
That's what I'm saying. That my destiny is not opening for 2017 or else.
What's a joke? 2017, your government was in office. If there was a debt, It's on your head.
What
Do
do you
not
say
draw
that-
NDC onto that.
Yeah, because the
Do you know when NPP came
left
into
the debt,
office?
and then we're paying it.
This
We
is the
paid
end
this
of
debt
year, 31st
about
December.
1 point something billion.
I'm not
Sir,
sure you
turn
are
back
aware
and
of what's
see.
going on.
Hold on, this is
You
what
can
is
read
being
it.
recorded. You
That
can
is
see.
2016.
Yes.
And I'm talking about
The
the
end of
when
December.
we took it. When we took over,
This is the balance
there was
sheet
this
that you got
debt
given.
that we
So
paid.
what you are
Where is the
saying
debt?
is that was this money which is recorded as of the time that
31st
Mahama was leaving office, the 31st December. So he was no longer part of the administration anymore because he is gone. Now new government have taken over.
So
are you saying that?
So this government took over this money. So there was no debt. This government took over this money.
Anyway, can I
Anyway,
please?
so that's
Okay.
that is what he is saying.
Yes. Okay. Hold on. Go on, please. Yeah.
This is not what I am saying. This is the records from the NHIS.
No. We know. You know.
Okay,
Yes.
let's
go on.
establish that. If you sat here as a party communicator and you are not aware that 31st December of 2016 is the last day, and after that 6 days later, your government was sworn in, handing over had already been done at this time. There is a process that goes through for a month before the swearing in gets done. Maybe after this program you will circle back and look at that. But this is why posturing is not important when we come on these shows. It is the information you bring. You can't manufacture this. I have no control. I have
So-
never been in the NHIS office.
What Mr. Enoch Oti Ejekum is saying that the World Bank has commended Ghana's NHIS for being one of the best in Africa, especially with regard to population coverage.
I will comment on that. Things like that are sad to read. We were here in the same country, dealing with both countries when our energy minister came to say that power was being lost because people were on the lines, working on the lines. 2 submissions ago, Mr. Issa tried to make that same statement, that the Dumso was remembered by NDC and for them they are working. The joke of all times is for a dentist to sit and talk about engineering, that when anytime power goes off, there are people on the cables working. Why do we go to school? To come out and come and say things like this? In what country do we have electricity running through high tension cables and have people being electrocuted when they go to work? What gear do they work when they go on the line? It means every time something happens, power gets shut down? No. I am in Ghana all the time. I know what I go through. Anybody who is being truthful knows the load shedding that has been going on. A few months ago when Gridco, ECG, all of them were fumbling over releasing all those shambolic letters accusing each other, was that NDC in power? Almost 7 years, no solution. You can do the homework now. You have added nothing to the power grid. I can share a table with you as well of all the different administrations since Nkrumah's time, what every administration has brought to the power grid. Talk is cheap. The mantra, we have the man, we have the men. We have all realized what kind of men they are.
Go to the NHIS now.
The
other
NHIS,
one.
I have put the record there. Please, I need him to state on the record how much debt we left and where the document for that debt is. Because it's not him saying that his phone is not opening. He's on the phone and he's sitting next to me. So I can see.
So looking at the death rate now in
Please,
Ghana.
if we go by this, I'll be very sad that we let that statement stay on record, or he needs to retract it, because NDC did not leave a debt. You have seen on record there was a surplus.
Our viewers have heard,
Seven-
everyone have heard it clearly.
These kind of lies should not be tolerated. This is a respected TV station. That was the only reason why I agreed to come here to represent the party that I believe is coming into power. We cannot play these games with Ghanaians. The fact that we're sitting here does not make us more intelligent than the people watching and listening to us. We should not attempt to hoodwink them in any manner.
When it gets to Easter 10, we will come back to it. Now, what Mr. Enoch Oti Ejekum is saying.
I would extend that and I will help him out. What declined in 2016 was the number of people that were registering year by year. Next time when you're coming on the show, please do your homework. If you want to communicate for a party and you want to be truthful, it is important you get your facts right. Do the research. Don't dress up, come and sit here and try and pick fights that are not necessary. Because We are trying to run the country, rescue the country, and place it back. Complete projects that you have come and met, squandered the money, and left sitting in the bushes with no accountability. Every year, there are billions being reported in the Auditor General's report consistently for 7 years. The scandal of Crowell and Associates never got dealt with. Anybody that tries to fight corruption gets sacked.
We will come to the corruption section in our next, but I just want you to say a bit about the NHIS before we go on to other things. Now, the people are complaining. What they are saying is that their illnesses are not covered under the NHIS, and they just have to wait and die. And it's been going on for a while now. I mean, we had one of someone who came on, some person with disability who came on our program, who said that he has to go and beg for money in Sunyani and then use that money to buy medication because his illness is not covered under NHIS. And I just want you to tell me what your understanding of that is.
What I would like to say on that it is very evident and it is very sad. This present government does not care about Ghanaians. They keep setting up these award schemes, doing show programs and awarding themselves and giving themselves accolades for the very sectors that they know they have failed abysmally in. Nobody in Ghana, you can open phone lines for 5 minutes and conduct that experiment, can call and tell you the NHIS is working. The Minister of Health is on record, and I can share that with you, saying that he does not rely on NHIS because it doesn't work. When he goes to the hospital, he pays his way because the system is not working. How does this contradictory statement tally with that? How we have a party rep who is a communicator say something contrary to that, what the appointed minister for the sector is saying as a confession that it does not work.
Okay.
If you would want me to share that record with you, I can pull that up as well. The Minister of Health's own words. It was on video and it's in print. So if we are going to sit here and call him out as a liar, fine. But everybody knows. And a survey will bring that out in 2-3 minutes. Nothing is working. Every sector has been watered down. Every sector has been crumbled. Since we sat here over an hour or almost 2 hours now, not a single figure has been said by my compatriot here to back up anything he has said. He spoke about gold for oil. He could not talk about amount. He couldn't talk about anything. He's talk about innovation. This is not a kid's show. This is a show regarding the nation. We need to take it in all seriousness. If you are looking to get to power, you need to sit down. You need to look at what you've done wrong.
We plan to have a meeting with Dr. Bernard Okoboy, the Chief Executive of Ghana National Health Insurance Authority, in terms of the state of NHIS.
There is a program that was held on Metro TV between Okoboy and Sami Jemfi. Maybe you would want to look at that before you even invite him over. Where
next week we want to try that and see
which is fine. And every figure he puts out, please, let's call for verification.
Yes.
Because this verification is the name of what we are doing now. It is not just throwing statements out. Ghanaians have seen this. All the promises. Changing Ghana in 18 months. Building 350 schools. Making Accra the cleanest city. The dredging that was being done for free was given out as a $43 million contract. Only for the Minister of Sanitation to stash money in her house. Are these things that are being made up? Or are you not in tune? Or are you pretending? I don't understand what I have gone through this evening as we are discussing things that are happening in our country to have any posturing.
Angel, let's hear what others' comments are. Juliana Belinda Obri is saying that they can even bring all the 10 MPPs aspiring. Now it's 5, but she is saying 10. You can bring all of them and they will lose. Conrad Dumba is saying Issa is just beating about the bush and reducing the quality of the show. Then others are saying that they can even bring all the 10, they will lose. Yes, so Marek Dramani Mama is saying that Angel, just stay cool, calm, and make your point. Nanama is saying, don't blame Issa that much. He's just been given contract in Ghana. So if he doesn't fight it, you will take it away from him. Usu Chan is saying, Angel and Issa Ayuma are mismatched. Also, Nanama is saying that Issa is just playing concert. Juliana Belinda of Obri is saying NPP are afraid of Ken. We need to ask him to tell Ghanaians to the meaning of showdown. That man's getting away with everything in the country. Any serious country by now, you will know the rest. Issa is telling untruth when he says NHIS had debt they had to clear. Not true, Conrad is saying. Issa Ayuma is a liar. Becky Stone is saying Issa. Then Conrad is saying thanks for declaring the NHIS surplus in 2016. Issa is just there to lie badly for for Nanado and Bawumia. Thank you. So yes, you can go on with that. Maybe we can talk about, because of the time and everything, we can talk about this, which was supposed to be our main topic for today, but because the primaries came up, everything came up, we decided to talk about that. It's about road minister accession, Amakwata accession, Minister of Roads and Highway accession, and describing his staffs as thieves. Who is to blame here? Does he know what to do?
Is that a question to me?
Yeah, you can start before you start. Yeah.
Before we go to that, I would beg the indulgence of your producer to maybe display pages 22 to 25 of the NHIS report, because it gives tables going far back as well, declaring other profit margins for the different years.
Yeah.
Now, whilst he's doing that, I will address the road minister's issue. As a sector head, or as a project lead, or anything else in any industry, you are there to supervise what goes on in your unit. A minister for a sector oversees what his ministry does, sits or supposed to sit in meetings to know what is being done, sit in budget allocation meetings. When did he realize they were thieves? When he produced a document and the president came to speak about number of kilometers that was different, did he know this? Or is it now that is the time for reckoning is drawing near that he knows this? What thought went into him closing down the toll booths? Who are the thieves? Who oversees the thieves? How often is he in touch with his people doing regular assessments? So the thieves, I'm going to hope he will come back to say that the thievery has happened in the last week. Not from 2017 that he's been in office and been there every year reading reports that has been engineered and then being called out later for not producing the right report. All these things are on record. So what period has he recognized that his workers are thieves? What is he doing in his role that allows the thieves to function? Those are the things that we need to be asking, because he's drawing salary to supervise them.
Do you think that many are calling that he should be resigned from his post, because
he should have
if he is
left
the
that
leader,
post
manager for
from the day he made the statement that he was going to close down the toll booths. This is the same person who said that any Ghanaian that was questioning when they declared year of roads, that where the roads were, it was the Ghanaian that was not paying attention. The same tactic that was adopted by Mr. Issa, that deep thinkers need to see. When you construct a road, everybody will see the road. It's not a cyber road. It's not a road that you put on anybody's email. It's a road that we all apply. So when I drive my car and I fall in a pothole, I'm aware of that. This daily and regular attempt to deceive people. Oh, thank you, producer, for putting that on the screen. Daily attempt to always make the Ghanaian feel inferior, to make the Ghanaian feel confused, instead of taking the apologetic stance and saying, no, when we were bragging, we just wanted power. We just wanted to deceive you for your endorsement. We had no plans of governing. We just wanted to steal what belongs to the country and capture all state resources.
Is this very serious? Sorry,
this is very serious, because
he's
that
saying,
is all we have seen.
If you are a staff as well and you're being alleged or accused of being thief and corrupt.
In a serious country, the leader of the unit is the first person to step down.
Yes.
The leader of the unit does not come to accuse his subordinates on TV. What are you doing in your office? I'm a project manager. If I go and manage a project, I don't need to disclose to you the number of people I even employed to do the project. If it fails, I will be called into an office.
He's saying that
needs to be on the table.
Yeah, he said there's a lot of corrupt people. There's a lot of thieves in his ministry.
What has he done about it? That's the question. He was on TV when he went to the Chinese saying he is arresting them. Staged all that drama. Did you ever hear any case about that? 3 hours later, the people were roaming the streets. What was the arrest? When he was on TV asking them, in your country, can you do this? We all know these gimmicks. It's just showboating. Who goes about their duty with media men in tow on your daily duty of doing checkups? You call the media to follow you because you knew what you were going to go and do. You knew you were going to go and put on a show, because inspection is part of his regular job. You don't call the media to follow you every day when you're going to work. So Ghanaians are discerning. Ghanaians know what time it is. Ghanaians have been fooled by all these rhetorics, and Ghanaians are fully aware. And every day they see appointees and communicators come and attempt to lie through their teeth and adopt that superior posture and being offended because they've been called liars. Everybody knows what
is this part of the job? When he said that he doesn't know what people want, they will die and leave everything behind. All of us, those who came before us, are gone. We heard the big names, people with money and wealth. Where are they? Look at what we are seeing, and we are citizens of this country, he said. Now, is this part of the job?
It's a scam. It's a scam to adopt that superior posture to be advising people. The finance minister does the same thing. When you call him and ask him a question, he'll be quoting the Bible. We all read the Bible. And I leave Proverbs 17:28 for everyone to go and read. That is what is important. If you get appointed in a role, focus on excelling.
Can you repeat here for our viewers to hear it? Because I know this is something that has come in the media. That the moment you talk about Ken Ofori-Atta, then he will quote the Bible to you.
Because him, all the other appointees and their communicators, they find a way anytime they hold a microphone to eat into the time without addressing the issue. And today, if it's not something that has come to your notice, you have observed it and endured it today. That you ask a question and then another question is set by the person supposed to be responding to you, and then they double round and then try and recommend actions for other people to be taken. Who appointed him counselor? You're a finance minister. Manage the finances of the country. You're taking loans, you're getting kickbacks. You talk about conflict of interest, then you come and quote Ecclesiastes. We can all read our Bibles. We have Bibles on our phones, we have Bibles under our pillows. What have you done with the economy? You had your kinky party, you sold the bonds. When you were doing all of this, honorable people like Adongo and Atuforsen were sounding alarm bells. People in the same industry with the same know-how, when you get given a caution, the least you could have done was check yourself. No. He's on record calling people naysayers, talking about Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah. Because of
in
time.
In the end, we won't go to IMF, we're in IMF. Calling and begging for 3 billion, but we wrote away $6 billion as a loss for one sector. Not even the whole government, just Bank of Ghana, 60.8 billion.
Because of time, well, can you land there, then give your analysis there, then we can go to Issa, please, because time is...
I will implore all viewers to look at this table and for anyone to dig up the NHIS 2016 report. All these appendices are included in the report. You have witnessed the lie that the NPP communicator shared with you. Please, even if you won't retract it, read for yourself. Make it a habit that when you hear things about your nation, You take that extra step to verify it. Not because the person you know has said it, you just take it. If I say something and I don't produce a document, go back and go and check it. That's how you measure political parties. That's how you measure people's performance. You go with the records. You have witnessed the empty rhetoric that has been done by the NPP. You have seen where it has led you. 4 more was not a political message. It was nothing. It said nothing. Showboating. What happened? We are suffering. Every sector of the country has dwindled. Our reserves are gone. Ghanaians, this is the time to all join forces with the NDC in this rescue mission to save yourselves.
Thank you. Thank you. Issa, yes, you heard about, let's talk about Roads and Highways Minister Kwasi Amakwata.
Yeah.
What he was saying that, you know, in his ministry, the people are thieves, corrupt people in his ministry. And would even, if you are staff working for him and you've been alleged that you are, or accused of being a thief.
Mr. Kula, I think you just said that he said what was the reason, or where was he, or what happened? He was saying this.
Well, he's been saying this publicly, rebuking persons who have been caught involved in.
I listened to him 3 days ago when he was talking about this big trucks that has been parked by the roadside with the double axle truck that comes from different countries and whatnot and so on. And I think that is where you are bringing this thing. I don't know, but that is what I heard from him, saying that some of the people within the country and even his ministry have collaborated with people who are not even Ghanaians and undermining the system.
But what is he doing about it?
So he said that, I heard him saying that this thing didn't come only just yesterday. It came long time ago. He set up a committee together with even the military to deal with it. But all of a sudden, even some of the military people got involved in it. And that pushed him to say all these kind of things. I heard him saying this, that there was something that he did about it to track down these people, because what they do is the road has been constructed with a whole lot of tiles on it, and these big trucks will come and overload in this country and spoil the road. But when they get to their country, the border of their country, another truck comes and they offload it and give to the other truck, because if you enter there with that load that you bring in from Ghana, you're going to be prosecuted. But with the help of our own citizens, this thing is happening for years now. He tried to stop it with the military, but it didn't even work because of these people within there. They know the trick, and that is why he was angry.
If you are a manager,
Yeah.
now this is he's a minister, but if you are a manager managing your staff and they are not being honest with their job, what do? Do you sack them or they continue? What do you do?
You see, it's not working.
No, it is time to. Okay, you continue. First.
If it's working, fine. So what happened that he's saying this? He said that he should have sacked them, isn't it? Because he said that he set up a committee that was going to work on these things. But the committee ended up even doing more or worse than what, and that made him angry, and he's now saying it outside there to let the whole people know that.
Well, in recent time, the minister has been captured publicly rebuking his staff and saying that they are all thieves. You know. So what the minister is saying, there are a lot of corrupt people, there are a lot of thieves in his ministry. You know, but the thing is, they work for him, and he is the boss. And if you have evidence, why do you let them continue?
Yeah, like he's saying, he set up a committee to run on this thing.
Does he need a committee?
Yes, you need a committee, because there are civil servants as well. And before you get to sack somebody, you need to get and you get evidence.
But why didn't he get his evidence before he come out and talk? Because if they stop
because
doing what they're doing,
the thing continues all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
That is why he is complaining.
If you stop, if he didn't make it public and privately investigated, he would have caught a lot of them. But now they will stop. You can't catch them.
That is some of the reason that
is he just doing it publicly to make it look like, oh, I want to do something? But
I cannot detect that for him. But for him saying this, sometimes too, is frustrating because you are working with people expecting them to be honest. You understand? Because they are taking their salary from the taxpayers' money, and they have to do it for the country. Like we spoke earlier,
yes,
there are so many people who doesn't care about the country, but they pretend. The only thing that they do is just to take their money, and we turn the whole thing around blaming only politicians. You get where I'm coming from. So sometimes it is not just easy. Like I've got one guy who is sick in Ghana Railway Authority. He doesn't go to work, but he pretends he's sick. And he's been taking his salary. They try to get rid of him, and he take it to the court. And the court said this, the man is sick. You get this kind of thing. So there are so many things in our country that we need to look at it. I'm not defending the minister, but I could see the frustration that he's going through.
Yeah, he needs to go for more training and the ways of dealing.
Yeah, I could see the frustration that he's going through, because if you look at the type of people that we have in our country who were supposed or have to be citizens, we turn out to be different people. How can you help a foreigner to get profit of something than your own country? And this is what we've been doing for all these years, because I heard him saying that it was because of the lorry that has been coming to the country, loading from here, and they'll allow them, because when they load, they'll go through barriers and all the way. And who are these barriers keepers?
Yeah, I mean, we are all getting tired.
Exactly.
So we're just going to go for 1 minute each. Your summary for today. So because he did his summary.
Okay, go on. So what I'm trying to say here is...
No, you do 2 minutes, then he will do his summary as well. He get to do his one. He's not done his summary.
Then if you want, he can do his summary.
Okay.
Okay.
No, he does not get to determine what goes on the show. He started the show.
Yeah.
If you ask him a question,
I started the story. So okay, it doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say is...
You just lie anyway.
Sorry. Please, go on, Isa. Isa, go on. 2 minutes. It's fine.
I wish I would not meet such people in my life.
It's okay.
Before.
Two minutes.
What I'm trying to say here is we are running a country, and every citizen of a country have to pay a patriotism for the country, or else you can bring anybody. If there is no patriotism, like what some people think they are, then we are in the doom. So the NPP government has done a lot since assuming power. And the whole Ghanaian people, they have tested, they are feeling that yes, this is a political party that can run the country more than a political party which has no clue, has no any idea of putting any social intervention for the people of the country. You understand? As we sit here, the NDC cannot tell us what social intervention have they put in the country for the whole Ghanaian society to be enjoying or benefiting it since revolution time all the way down to party democracy that we've been. They cannot point to one social intervention that they have done. But when we are talking about certain things, they will come and sit on this radio or any television, lie about what they have done, talking about infrastructure, and they quote so many things. Before you get to know a whole lot of double money that they have put in. They were the criminals stealing money. But today they turn around to be telling people that they are angels. We've seen them, how they run the country in Ghana. And now today they are telling, after all, the NPP has put so many social interventions for people to be enjoying today. And we can mention a lot of them.
Please do.
So we are here to let Ghanaians understand Ghanaians should not make a mistake. But those who are screaming today, like they know how to run the country, they don't. They are just trying to let Ghanaians make a mistake and hand over power to them again. And there that they will show Ghanaians who they are. And I'm appealing to all Ghanaians that they should be very careful by the sweet words that these people are producing now. Because we know them, and they can never, with Mahama, they can never come back to power because the Ghanaian people knows exactly what they want.
Thank you, Issa. Thank you. Yeah, Angel, 2 minutes as well.
Just before I go on, you did say that you were going to play Alan Chemantin's video.
Oh, okay.
I've also shared a table with you that shows the power grid up to the end of 2020, what every administration contributed. I would implore you to put that on the screen after you play Alan's video. I want to say thank you to Mr. Issa for scoring a few own goals, for talking about patriotism, which his party has not exhibited an iota of. I want to thank him for saying that people that are not patriotic are the people that run countries down. He made a comment about they are running the country. I think he wanted to say running down the country, but he missed that. Everything he has said today, he has not produced one shred of evidence. This is what Ghana has been faced with. Sweet talking, loud noises. This roads minister issue, various statements. And the toll booth is just an example. How did that benefit Ghana? Western world, the countries we try to emulate, don't stop their tolls. You sit here and you lie and you call other people liars, you call people criminals. Now President Mahama, who borrowed 54 billion in his term, has done hospitals, has done universities, has done airports, all of which you called Photoshop projects. But 2 years ago, you went to Cape Coast to go and celebrate Ghana independence in the non-existent structure. You have no shame. You and all your appointees that went to Cape Coast to celebrate Ghana independence 2 years ago have no shame, because there are publications where you were trying to tell Ghanaians that the stadium did not exist. It had not been constructed. But you went there, you sat there, you had a function, you left. Try and adopt that posture today for the one Ghana we have, to learn to apologize and not be attempting to tell people at this stage that you have done well. You have done zero. All you have done is bring hardship on people. All you have done is run the country down. Taking state resources, keeping it for yourselves, it's not any trait of intelligence. So the shouting, we have the men, we have the men, we have today seen, and you have convinced me again that it was just noise. I've spent 2 hours sitting here and you have done nothing but try to say that NDC has done a lot. Vague words like that are things that kids use in playgrounds. When they say things, they can, oh, my dad is the strongest man. And that's the story ends there. Richest man, it ends there. Please. Serious topics about the nation, we need to be serious about.
Thank you.
Discerning citizens, vote for NDC if you want your own lives to be better.
Thank you, Angel, and thank you, Issa. We also like to take this opportunity to thank all our viewers. I know producer have put it there. The man who experienced some kind of beatings and attack yesterday. One of Alan's aides who was part of it.
Ali Zakaria.
And who was attacked and then end up in hospital. And I've seen a number of people sent in wishing him well. And we hope that, he get well soon. It seems like one of his eyes have closed completely. Easter, you can have a look as well. It's there where they put it there. So we just wish him well. And we hope that in future, things like this is not good for our youth, our children growing up, who are looking for us to be role models for them.
But if we can thank Issa, I'll be very glad, because he made a statement that has really impressed me, that corrupt Ghanaians and unpatriotic Ghanaians help foreigners to rob the country. That statement I'm going to hold on to, because I know who he's referring to. He was referring to Osafo Maafo for helping Aisha Young escape. But I'm not sure if he was trying. And I did say it earlier that he was scoring own goals and painting his own party people.
Producer,
this guy has
can we come to an end? Thank you very much
to say about me. So
thank you for today.
Let's take your time and then.
Producer, CEO Jobedu and Sister Danswa. And also we have Miss Beatrice Asante here with us. Thank you, Prolific B. Thank you. And we thank you, our viewers, everyone. Thank you.